wole kakate fayo soniandi ka fo le election materials sa okay ibe sanna minul bulu wole problème fina ba masakunda ka tama nyameng ni masakunda ka bagasol sang nay tata fay ko do tembo si e manyana kadi mo klina pour ya sa wobulu e kam mo jamalle compagnie jamalle ta millialon ko wolle ya no isa keno e dadiyata masakunda ka sang wole bulu otom mondiro dum wole jahaso fe nan IC ning GPP etema foyati na san imam mo sotono mialon ko wole be ning material supply la sa e ba kala ko tenke ni la foye mo soto mialon ko le ba supply la ning ala sonta registration be kala le mais min fola IC fana e wolon ko ya kata bake bawo gambe ni ngola jiko be kanne anu kate foye manke kuti mialon ko ku chahano lo lo ku ku ba kala isake ani silola ay senya molialo mimbe kering wole be kayro sabati la gambe bankun kan fulanja ngom mialon ko fanan kacha wolon ko ning drug emi muta pototo asa kala muta ko wati den tambita ngamira ñu lokun tambila na polisol e drug muta poroto min dara fo ton saba wosiata bake in fact anel manke Gambia asiata bake le wata ni ko Gambia sain sa telo mialon ko sain ning mo kurungol mialon ko e katara ning ku jawli ni sirafen jawle wafikan e gambe ke silolati ani mabordula wultan ko wo manya ke Gambia bawo wona ke da Gambia abe ka banka banko tinyale ngadela banko dol mel tinya oton ko man sakunda e wuli yenna do ku lale ka fami law enforcement ye semben tuya ya je ko karango e surata min ke do ko ke karango dila anim bagaso le surata ka do ke bagaso ni dila ka je ko isala do ko keno fo Gambia mil kana jang kanyin sira fe ngol finan isaje ate keno la kotenke sabanjango wolong IGP fanam fintita last week e ko motol mi alon ko e kala werol dibindi la fo mol bu kay membe ka moto kono e ko clearance ibe sulala wala e ko manana yewo fo e ko bawo moto kono na dibita mbo kaje membe je wo sifalle ka nyin ko jawol ka nyim bankon kan e ka fay crime oto nabe wonya e ko momo mi alon ko la moto ya dibindi la fo mbo ka kono to je e nyante na ka foko ye Gambia dalesi wuli tangjo bari ngoy ko sa niatara altol ko security latin na alko nkanake sa wuli tang mo si afornateur mo criminal olti so man science be ngoy ko sa laji be banko dol ka ke nyamen ba mo to dol be ni asan damen akat anin le kana bari tin fanan different level le kana dol ka fim bakale dol bu ka fim bak ya fa molé du mala be accept la ñu guideline sol fi nang fo gambe dingol salon mbe o tamande la nyamen nani njango fana ngamin kacha wolong nying accident ngol mil siata gambe bankun kambi mbe ngalo nen ka je nyala le lolong accident gambe ngol be fala ibe baramala nko nyanta kala moneka sabu pour salom fana ba ko solf la nyamen odon commence akunda ko san ye panelo setup mi alan ko wala ba investigate la monatin accident ngol kake isaje sa solf no laysino fanan kadi nyame ya jube ku bawo laysino kadi nyame tolnga jele ko nyanda ko faline sañ ita fala moy ko laysino ta December 1st abe expire December 31st at least sañ ki la nyanda ka wotale ba nga system min soto tolnga jele ko system ko totale amana fa soto ko da moy drug tay diko dem fe denci kay ak yoon pour lu bon li ni mën na ya rew kon ñu ngi ñaax nguur gi pour ñu saytu mbir bu baaxa sa ñu def lo xamne dañ ko ci wara def pour gis ne lolu du am ci rew mi benen bi moy IGP police ñu gëna joxe directive ne képp ko amne sa moto dafa am parenthèse bu lendem da nga wara dem jël clearance nga fay 10000 wala 15000 lu tax ñu ne lolu wara am parce que ñu ne sécurité ñun ñu ne su dé sécurité la kon ken warta fay dang ko ban parce que me good sense nga ne sécurité la wali nga fay 10000 ñu ngi ñaax nguur gi pour ñu sétane mbir bi ak IGP bi office am pour ñu gis ñu isi lo xamne dina tax be karange am ci rew mi way tamit ño xamne ño amé borom moto yi dinañ mëna amé sen moto ci dal si waxtaan bo xamne nak moy mbiri driving license yi ak accident yu bari yu am ci rew mi umpule ne tay sa yo gene di nga gis accident suñ ni ñangé dé ñu ngi gañu ci accident yi ñu ngi naan bari na kon waxtu jotna pour nguur gi jog def ci taxaway ñu gestu lan moo war a tax accident yi bari si réew mi ak naka lañ koo saafaralee ñu seet tamit si mbiri licence bu baax a baax a baax a baax parce que nu ñu joxee licence tamit moo jaarut yoon doo mën a jox nit ki licence 1st of December nga ne ko dafa expected first dañ ko war a seetaat ñu reform ko ñun loolu la mooy xam ne Citizens Alliance mooy seen taxawaay si loolu. lu si mujjee nag mooy mbiri jigéen yoo xam ne ñuy dee suñu wasin boobu tam gis nañ ne bari na si réew mi torop ñu ngi ñaax nguur gi ñu seetaat mbir bi tamit ñu def si ay gestu ay jéego yoo xam ne dina tax ba képp ko xam ne jigéen nga dem pour wasin di nga mën a wasin si dal ak si sutura ak te doo si am benn jafe-jafe mbiri mooy loolu. Finally, I've skipped one thing which is very important as well, is the appointment of the Vice IAC Chairman. This is a big disappointment and it is not acceptable. The country has laws, and laws must be followed, especially by the executive. The purpose why we are paying the Attorney General and Minister of Justice is for him to advise government on legal issues. So where was he when the government was making this very bad, unlawful decision? We cannot accept it. We cannot accept such mistakes. The person tipped for the job is not qualified by law. I think the executive should know that before they make the appointment. These are the things that makes people lose credibility with the IEC. And once people start to lose credibility, and IEC's credibility start to get undermined, we start losing confidence on the ability of the IEC to oversee elections in this country. So they should be very, very, very careful and avoid such mistakes. And we urge the government to make sure that whatever they do, they follow due process and they follow the laws of the land. We cannot accept impunity in this country anymore, where I just wake up in the morning and make decisions that are unlawful. Gone are the days. We are ready, in fact, to challenge that decision in court, had it not been that it was rescinded. So we urge them that we are vigilant, we are watching, we are, like I said, we are principal stakeholders in the entire process. We must make sure that things are done right. On that note, I thank you very much, and we are looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, for that insightful, thorough, and detailed submission. Now we want to open the floor to you, the media, our partners. It's your day. It's your show. Let's engage. Let's interact. Ask your questions in any language you feel comfortable, and we'll be happy to answer it. So I want to take the first question here. Okay.
Thank you very much. I will say thank you very much. And the press conference, you raised a lot of very important points. My name is Yusuf Taylor from Guyana News. I wanted to ask you something which you haven't touched on in your points, which is regarding the Constitution. Dialogue that have taken place. 2 rounds of consultations have now been concluded. Where are we? What's Citizens Alliance take away from this whole engagement? Are we close to getting a constitution?
Thank you very much, Yusuf. That's a very important question and a very important, pertinent national issue as well. I would be pleased to inform you that the Citizens Alliance was invited to this dialogue or mediation, as they call it. I know you are aware that an international organization, IDEA, is engaged to lead the process, together with an eminent person in the name of Goodluck Jonathan. We took part in both rounds of discussions. The idea was to have a dialogue and find a common ground and negotiate to ensure that we take the constitution back to parliament and get it passed. So before that happens, consensus is needed among the political parties, especially those with seats in parliament. I can inform you that the negotiations went well. The goodwill is there, especially from the opposition political parties. I'm very optimistic about the outcome because I've seen during the dialogue how even parties that were really found themselves in two different poles during the debate in Assembly, I've seen that they are ready to compromise and have common ground. I cannot go into the details of exactly what are the agreements. If it is going to ensure we have a new constitution before the next elections, so that term limit counts before the next elections, diaspora votes in the next elections, and also 50 plus 1% is in the next elections, we are willing to compromise and have consensus depending on how things go. But other than that, we will not be part of that.
Thank you, Yusuf. Next question, please. Okay.
The opportunity. I'm Rajmani. I work with this organization. So, in your deliberations, you called on the authorities, specifically the IGP, to initiate a probe and to bring the perpetrators of, or the people behind the cocaine that was reported and posted at the ports by DLEA agents. Because of this recent post follows in the recent past. I mean, it came on the heels of another one involved in a company called Raw Food and stuff. Many others also, of course, are involved or were involved in that, and we are yet to see any outcome. We don't even know the progress of any or at all any investigation has been launched. What gave you the conviction that this time around it will be any different?
Thank you. The Laura Food case, yeah, go on.
If I could just,
Yeah, sure.
just one second. The second question has to do with maternal mortality in the Gambia. The health minister, Dr. Samate, was at a convergence a week ago. He told medical practitioners that his office was in the process of formulating or initiating a maternal mortality committee, whatever he calls it, that would investigate the deaths or the cause of deaths in our hospitals. What's your take on that?
Thank you, Alaji. Thank you. The Laura Food case is quite different from the current industrial salt case. I'll give you the two scenarios why I said it's different. In terms of packaging, it's different. With the Laura Food case, the consignment was in front of the container. Once you open the container, it is the drugs that you see. In the industrial salt case, it's at the very back of the container. The Laura Food case, the Laura Foods themselves called the DLEAG to say that we saw something here which is not part of our consignment. It is fishy, come and have a look. So they called the police. It was not like the police did an intelligence and followed it and traced it and busted. No, the Laura Foods opened the container. They saw something that was not supposed to, a foreign object in the container. It was sugar. And they got suspicious and called the police to come and have a look, and it was tested and it was cocaine. It means that, based on my investigations, the Laura Foods drug was not supposed to come to the Gambia. The way these international criminals work is very complex. Perhaps it was supposed to be transferred somewhere, to be opened and removed and closed again, because they take many transit points. And when a container is coming to Gambia and transits in Belgium, the Belgian authorities would not pay so much attention. That's job for the Gambia to do. They do random searches, but they don't pay too much attention on the transit containers than containers heading for Belgium. That is their priority. So based on my understanding, I get this wrong. It wouldn't make sense if the Laura Foods will bring a consignment of drugs, not busted by the police, and still call the police to come and take care of it. And also, if you look at where it is placed in front of once you open it, you see it. So sometimes, what international criminals, they tamper with containers. They have agents in different ports, transit ports, so that they know a particular container is having it. The agent will just open it, remove it, and seal it again. The container moves. Perhaps this one, it was a failed operation, and it ended in a gas. I said perhaps, I'm not saying. But what I also learned is that the DLEAG did a thorough investigation of the Laura Foods case. And based on their investigations, they came to the conclusion that the Laura Foods, in fact, when the Laura Foods company called them, they were all arrested and taken into custody That is standard operation procedure, even though they call them. They did their thorough investigations, and the outcome was that they could not find them culpable in that particular case. However, it doesn't mean that they are free. They let them go because there is no evidence. Investigations continue. If in the future, intelligence and engage each other based on ideas, that there is no animosity between the political party leaders. This is good for the country because election year normally, stability can be shaken. And for us to have a peaceful elections, and currently if you listen to the political discourse online, it's very toxic. Political parties, supporters are so rigid and so aggressive towards each other that it doesn't augur well for the country. So I think we, as the political leaders, should show to our supporters that it's one Gambia, one destination, one vision, but how to reach to that destination is where we differ. That is politics. Some parties prefer the socialism road. Some parties prefer the conservative road. Some the communist road. But the ultimate aim is to build a Gambia that is where every Gambian will live a dignified life. Our young people will have access to good jobs. Our people will have access to quality healthcare, clean water, electricity. That is the Gambia we want. And I think how we are going to achieve it is where the difference is. And I think we should make our electorate understand this. So the purpose was to pay courtesy call. I see them as partners, as compatriots, even though we are from different political parties. But also to send a strong signal to the electorate, our supporters, that they should not kill each other, insult each other because of us, because all is well between us.
So a follow-up to that, do you have any intention of coaliting with one of those parties?
We did not only meet GDC and APRC, we wrote to, in fact, all the political parties, including, in fact, the president himself. As leader of the NPP, we want to meet him as well, to talk about the country and how we can all work together to make the country move. So there is no coalition on the table yet for us. Currently, what the CA is focusing on is to sell our agenda to the Gambian people, build our political base, and let the Gambian people trust us and give us the mandate to govern this country in 2021. That is our goal.
So